Good evening, folks. I'd like to welcome you to this informational meeting about a proposed 10,880 horsepower Dominion transmission compressor station that is under consideration for Wilcox Road in the town of Georgetown. The purpose of this meeting tonight is to simply provide additional information about the proposed project, the potential for additional natural gas infrastructure in the area, and some of the scientific research about natural gas transmission. Additionally, we'd also like to inform folks that you can submit comments to the Madison County Department of Health Work Group, which is conducting a study regarding the potential health impacts of this proposed project. I would ask if you have a cell phone with you tonight, if you could silence that, please. But feel free to take a call if you need to, that's fine. On the table in the back of the room, there are forms that can be used to submit comments to the County Department of Health Work Group. These comments do need to be completed and submitted before Friday, August 15. So if you'd like to submit your comments before you leave tonight, there are envelopes available so that you can put your comments right in the envelope and seal it up, and we'll make sure that it gets to members of the work group who are here tonight. We do have 3 speakers tonight who will present information for about 15 to 20 minutes each, and then we'd like to take questions from the audience. We do have question forms on the table as well, so that you can address your questions to a specific speaker, and so that we can maintain a civil atmosphere this evening. If you would give your question to one of the ushers that will be circulating around the room, they can get the questions up to the front so that we can address those to our speakers. There is one thing I do want to make clear before we get into our speakers. Dominion Transmission is not represented here this evening. Until very recently, their voice has been the primary information on the project. Their major contact with nearby landowners began in March of 2014, continued with several letters the first week in April, a public meeting at the Georgetown Fire Department that was advertised in the High Neighbor for 2 weeks, and then a large packet of information that went to homeowners on or around June 16th. In the public meeting on April 22nd in Georgetown, Dominion responses to most questions they were asked were either, "I don't know," or "I'll have to get back to you on that." At no time were those questions ever answered. And so people began digging for their own answers. And what was discovered is that there is very little good news behind this project, as you will hear tonight. Our first speaker will be Nadia Steinzor. She's the Eastern Program Coordinator of the Oil and Gas Accountability Project at Earthworks, a national organization dedicated to protecting communities and the environment from the impacts of irresponsible mining and energy development. Nadia works with a growing movement of homeowners, researchers, and concerned citizens and organizations to educate and to support impacted communities, advance state oil and gas regulations, and to promote federal reform. Most recently, she's developed and managed research projects on the health impacts of shale gas development in Pennsylvania and links with the state oversight of the industry. Nadia has worked for nearly 2 decades in communications, writing and editing, and research to promote action and effective policies on environmental protection and wildlife and land conservation. She holds a Master of Science in Environmental Policy from Bard College and both a Master's of Arts in Peace and Development Studies and a Bachelor of Arts in International Relations from the University of Gothenburg in Sweden. Our second speaker will be Dr. Larissa Dreiska. She's a graduate of Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis. She is a board-certified pediatrician and has held the position of Director of Pediatrics at Holy Name Hospital in Teaneck, New Jersey. She's been a SUNY Sullivan Board of Trustees member since 2009, appointed by Governor Patterson. Her recent work is focused on children's rights with the Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations at the United Nations, particularly with human trafficking and impacts on the most vulnerable. Dr. Dreiska has been an advocate for health on the issue of gas drilling. She is a founding member of the Sullivan Area Citizens for Responsible Energy Development, vice chair of the CME Curriculum Committee for Physicians, Scientists, and Engineers for Healthy Energy, and on the steering committee of Damascus Citizens for Sustainability. Together with fellow New York medical colleagues, she founded Concerned Health Professionals of New York. She has been invited to lecture at SUNY Upstate, at Rutgers University, at Sarah Lawrence College, and in Ohio and Michigan on the health impacts of unconventional gas development. Last September, she participated in a conference in Ukraine on renewable energy. In addition, she's been invited several times to present information to the New York State Assembly and the Senate. Our third speaker will be William Houston. He is a computer administrator by trade, helping to maintain large, high-performance Linux clusters, as well as custom supercomputers for biomedical applications. He's also been a public access television producer since 1994, when he started crewing on a live music program in Austin, Texas. Now part of the Shale Shock Media Group, he has been working nearly full-time documenting the shale gas development of our area for the last 4 years. With his colleague Chris McConkie, who is also with us tonight, he has recorded hundreds of hours of public hearings, panel discussions, and documented how shale gas development has changed the landscape of Northeast Pennsylvania, with well tours and interviews with affected locals. He has a strong background in science and law, and he does independent research on topics related to energy and the environment, and he writes on his personal blog. As I said earlier, each panelist will present, and then we'll have time for questions. Please be sure to give your questions to the ushers, who can relay those questions to the front of the room. Thank you very much. Nadia?